I think that many people go into or they dream about being a ranger because they think they won't have to deal with people. And that's just not the case. If you really want to be effective in conservation, you must work with people and get really, really good at it, and really good at listening to people, really listening to what their concerns are, what's important to them, and creating venues to do that. I would just kind of share a very powerful personal experience. My ancestors were colonial leaders in New Mexico uh, 300 years ago. And at one point, I was forest supervisor, so I was over a bunch of rangers. I was forest supervisor on a forest called the Santa Fe National Forest. And it's a beautiful forest in Santa Fe, New Mexico, around Santa Fe, New Mexico. In that forest are 17 individual tribal governments and tribal people with interests that have been there for thousands of years. They taught me so much about the land and so much about life in general that I'll never forget it. One day I was out with a tribal governor, a leader of that tribe, and he took me to a place. There was a battle between the Spanish and the tribe, and it was one of the last tribes to be, vanquished, I guess, for that colonial era. And, one of my ancestors was a colonial leader and was part of that. So it was very painful, very poignant, to go to the place where that battle took place. And that was, a very kind of scary way to start that, because I don't know if I wanted to talk about that. But he wanted to talk about it, but it wasn't in a threatening way. He wanted an acknowledgement of what had happened. And he wanted me to say that. And I had that sort of unique and painful role that I was a descendant, um, of people that were there, and also a formal recognized leader of the government. But I would just tell a ranger, whatever your personal history is, whether you're attached to it or not, find out what that is for you and make that a strength rather than a weakness, because those things can open doors. You'll be surprised when you're sincere, when you want to learn, when you really care, when you care both about nature and people, how many doors might open by authenticity, by really getting to know people and really hearing them out. And that turned out to be a pivotal moment with not only that tribe for me, but all 16 others. Because it just opened doors that I couldn't believe, because then the other tribes could see what was happening and they wanted to do that too. And even more doors opened.